I'm really losing it now sometimes when the lights go out. Something about the background sound doesn't matter if you're around. Drifting off, fading out. If I was in the ocean now I'd probably drown. Like being underground with the red lights on. Gotta put the foot down and get a move on. If you turn it down, don't top me out. Keep the light on, I won't make a sound. Coming back strong, or am I just fading out?
Welcome race fans back to Project Racing. My name is Webbo. Here is how our championship looks at the moment. We have Niki Lauda for Team Bad on 53 points ahead of joint second position Brum and Tango. Brum, Niki Lauda's teammate, just overtaking Tango in the championship after those first 3 rounds. Herbas in 4th and Lord Top Hat in 5th ahead of Cool Breeze and Taffy Dog in 6th and 7th for Western Sydney Racing. Red is 8th ahead of Tarmac Terror. Some complete idiot is in 10th, and Bravo and Chappie have not yet competed in the championship. We've got the team standings. Brad are on 96 ahead of Redline Syndicate on 59, Western Sydney on 53, Red Hats on 50, and the part-timers on 44 points. The no-shows, appropriately enough, have yet to score. We're at Charles. Ready then for the feature race here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Tarmac Terror qualifying at the back of the 8-car grid. Ahead of him will be Lord Top Hat, racing all out of Australia here. The back 2 rows, we've got Top Hat there in the light blue, followed by Tango in the Redline Syndicate racing car, unusually qualifying low down in P6. Taffy Dog for Western Sydney Racing in the number 6 starts in 5th position with Brum close to the front there on row 2. Alongside of him, Cool Breeze for Western Sydney. Niki Lauda starts on the outside, slightly further back there on the P2, with Herbas, predictably enough, right at the very front of the grid on pole position for this 27-lap race around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the next round of our Project Racing Tardis Cup 2026. The drivers are ready. I hope you're ready to watch as well. Let's get underway as we make a start. It is soft tyres for Cool Breeze, and Niki Lauda. As we get ready to go, it's drop the clutch, it's go, go, go. Funnily enough, Niki was slow away. Brum almost boxed in by his teammate there as we get the Western City Racing driver, Cool Breeze, going down the inside, but Herbas sensibly leaves a little gap, once bitten, twice shy on the way through turn 1, lap 1 today. Lord Top Hat scrambling at the back there with Tarmac Terror. No room to get around anybody, and it's Herbas, Cool Breeze, Niki Lauda and Brum for Team Bad in positions 3 and 4. Brum just catching the Vettel wall out there with Tango, Taffy Dog, Lord Top Hat and Tarmac Terror back at the back of the grid in P8 as the drivers continue through. Then we've got soft tyres, as I said before, for Cool Breeze, helping him forward into P2 with Herbas on the medium tyres as most of the grid have elected to start. Very little in the way of tyre wear multiplier here in Project Racing. Similarly with the fuel, not a great amount of fuel being used at any given time, so it's typically a soft and medium compound race as the drivers tend not to struggle to make the end of the race on 2 sets of the softest compound tyres. They must obviously change that compound. Brum just rubbing the wall once again on the way out of Le Pingle here through the first lap, but Herbas leads them down the long Casino Straight, and we'll watch them through the Wall of Champions chicane. Of course, it was Tango who hit that wall in the sprint race. Looks like Cool Breeze getting a little bit out of shape, manages to get by that Wall of Champions very neatly. Tango is still giving it a very, very wide berth, ultimately, with Tarmac Terror at the back on those medium tyres. Lord Top Hat has not been able to make any progress on his soft tyres at this stage. Most everybody else in front of him are on the mediums. Niki Lauda, Cool Breeze on the softs, and it was just Taffy No, it was Lord Top Hat who went for those soft tyres early on. Into the Vettel chicane we go with Cool Breeze in P2 and Niki Lauda in P3. Another closest to the wall challenge, exiting out of turn 5 down towards the very slow turn 6 and 7 chicane. Use a little bit of the entry curve if you dare. Lord Top Hat certainly does dare. Helps to cut back the total distance covered, and looks like Lord Top Hat is looking for his way through past Taffy Dog. Both, of course, all drivers in the Ferrari 296 GT3, so there's very little in terms of top speed difference. It's all about piling on the pressure and driver skill here at Tardis Cup in 2026. Talk about driver skill, there is Hervas way out front at this early stage, taking quite a wide line on the way into the hairpin. Lord Top Hat fighting hard here to try and get room with Taffy Dog, but unfortunately there's no way through at that stage. He needs to focus on his exit rather than his mid-corner overtake perhaps, and Tomac Terra then following the drivers down that long straightaway. Hervas the first through the chicane here at the end of lap 2. Nice and close over the white line there, but nobody taking it particularly hard on the way through. How about Tomac Terra, who I know is racing with a controller here. Hervas takes the fastest lap for lap 2. That was a 39.871. What was he? 3 thousandths of a second slower, faster than Cool Breeze. Cool Breeze really hooked up today, putting in the work, putting in the practice time, or has found something with his 296 driving style and setup combination. Niki Lauda in 3rd, Brum in 4th, Tango out the back in 5th position there. Very unusual territory for Tango, but I fully expect he will feature a little bit later once he's got those medium tyres up to temperature. The multiple reigning champion of the Tardis Cup, Tango, as they come through this chicane right about now. And they Brum once again sideways. Brum, the gaping maw of his team, bald and dangerous car, trying to find some grip out there. Niki is finding plenty of slipstream. He's not able to quite barrel by just yet, but of course that is slowing Cool Breeze down slightly as he's defensive from Niki Lauda's attack. Down past the St. Lawrence River we go, and in towards that final chicane. So good to see the cars hopping up onto those curbs as we run through here. Just need the tiniest bit of contact with those curbs. Perfectly through. And there is a first tag into the Wall of Champions from Tomac Terra. We have at the end of lap 3 for him. Here is Hervas in his Viva España livery. Cool Breeze just getting away there slightly from Niki Lauda and Brum. Remember, Niki, the Team Bad car with the soft tyres, Brum with the medium tyres at the start of this race. Personal best sector there for Niki. And we have Tango out there in P5. Staying in touch with the lead group at this stage. Big Tardis on his bonnet there for the Tardis Cup, of course. Lord Top Hat, I'm sure, just biding his time here, but the leaders are getting away from the Top Hat Taffy Dog Tarmac Terra group. There's another purple sector then as Hervas heads down into the hairpin. Nobody making an overtake at this stage on the way down here. Relatively equidistant, but Hervas is stepping away from his rivals here down that straightaway. They don't actually see him as the long flat out section does curve slightly. Got to be really careful on the way into pit lane this race, thanks to the pit lane being a faster entry than the normal racing line. Brum over the line again, really maximising his distance to the wall, using every bit of the available track and perhaps a little bit more as well. And we've got Taffy Dog running in 6th. No moves yet from Lord Top Hat. This is the kind of track that will punish drivers. It is slippery offline. This is not a frequently used racetrack. This is a public park road system on St. Philip. Is it St. Philip Island? Or is it St. Lawrence? I'm sure it's St. Lawrence Island here as we come through. I think Phillip Island is a very, very different place, right? Brum in P4, Nicky Lauda in 3rd here. Nicky, let's ride with him for a moment as we try to just catch those Cheeto curbs with the inside wheel edge, just to help the car round the corner. A little rear view display camera to the right of the driver's dash as we look into the apex. No threat from behind at this stage. Nicky, lap 5 of the 27. Softs just really coming into their absolute best. The medium's still on the warm-up cycle. No major speed advantage in the slipstream. Just a little bit too far away from that slipstream, possibly. That's absolutely inch perfect for Nicky Lauda through the chicane that time. Really got the car hooked up very, very well indeed. And there is a purple lap to prove it as well. So through turns 1 and 2 we go, starting of lap 6. Nicky Lauda with the fastest lap of the race. On lap 5, a 139.180. Here is Cool Breeze though. Soft tyres for Cool Breeze and Nicky Lauda, but they are not able to live with the pace of Hervas out front. Hervas has been a revelation these last couple of racing seasons here with Project Racing, and of course at SPR as well. If you want to track Hervas's progress, he races in the rookie division on the SVR servers and championship. Hervas then in the metallic red with the yellow Spanish flag accents. Cool Breeze, the Aussie, leading the Austrian driver. Oh, he's actually German, but lives in Austria. Tango in 4th. Brum has had an issue out there. Brum has dropped back considerably, and Lord Top Hat has got by. Let's see what happened here. Well, this is a big turn up for the books. Aha! We find the situation then. Here it is. Brum coming out of turn 2. Bang, into the barrier, unfortunately. That allows Lord Top Hat to eventually make his way round and by. But I think then we wait for a second or two, and Brum manages to get back by Lord Top Hat here. So Top Hat had cleared Taffy Dog eventually, but something goes awry momentarily here for the drivers. And on top of a bit of a wiggle coming on out of turn 7. Brum much faster out of the turn. Big defensive shape there from Lord Top Hat. Down into the chicane. Brum goes all the way around the outside of the first part. Big crossed up round under the camera position there, and back ahead then. Fantastic from our drivers. Here comes Taffy Dog back on Lord Top Hat now. That has cost Lord Top Hat momentum all the way down here. And on the outside, Taffy isn't looking to force the issue through one of the most dangerous chicanes in world motorsport. Fantastic option there to avoid contact and damage. Taffy looking to the inside on the way into turn 1. Unfortunately, that posts you right on the outside of turn 2. But on lap 7 of the 27, Taffy Dog stays in 7th position with Tarmac Terror right at the back. Hervas leads ahead of Cool Breeze and Nicky Lauda. Nicky has not been able to get by Cool Breeze for a long old while so far. Despite leading the championship, Nicky seems to pendulum the form with the track for our drivers so far this season, perhaps with the exception of Hervas. who has been strong at every race he's competed in. I would not be surprised to see Hervas heading the championship in very short order. But we have Cool Breeze and Niki Lauda fighting over the big points, if not necessarily the biggest prize here today, and keeping an eye on their championship credentials and positions. Big gap from Niki Lauda to Tango. Tango kind of sitting in no man's land out there. Brum has cleared Lord Top Hat and now will go off in pursuit of Tango once again. Here comes Tango through the chicane. He has not really been looking as aggressive through that chicane since the big contact with the barrier. Brum knows no other way of driving other than to the absolute edge, and he shaves the wall that time out. Definitely closest to the wall in the rating so far. Cool Breeze taking rather a lot of apex through turn 4. Let's join him on board as we keep track of what Nicky's up to. As long as you don't make a mistake here at Gilles Villeneuve, you really do force the driver behind to make a dodgy move or make a low percentage move when they get a little bit tired of waiting and frustrated. You can force an error as the defender as just as much as you can as the attacker. Depends on your mentality. How comfortable are you as a driver? Just focusing on your own race and not defending clear air, not allowing the pressure to pile up, and just acting as a mirror with the pressure and putting it on your opponent behind that. You can see through the 296 etching on the rear mirror that Niki Lauda is not close enough this time. That really helped. That tag with the Cheeto curve there, Cool Breeze, really helped him exit out of the second part of the final chicane. It's in the line to start the 9th racing lap then. And the soft tyres still nowhere near a concern for the drivers, so they'll go more than 1/3 distance. However, Tango has elected to come into the pit lane and swap his tyres over. Tarmac Terror at the back. Let's see what the tyre choice is here for Tango. We go for soft tyres for over 2/3 of the race distance. Is that achievable for Tango? I'm sure he's done his homework. He will now try and put in the laps while other drivers wait to make their pit stops. There's Hervas just coaxing the nose round the corner. Didn't look altogether straightforward, but another purple sector then for Hervas as he comes down. We've got Cool Breeze ahead of Niki Lauda still. Fabulous sounding machines. Massive gap behind of Niki Lauda back to Brum. That was partly down to Brum's spill earlier on. Here is Brum. It's got Lord Top Hat, driver he knows well from social racing, especially on a Wednesday when we've done our Wednesday racing. Lord Top Hat and Brum. Good banter between the two of them, I'm sure. The drivers all connected via race radio. I think Brum was actually bested that time as for the closest to the World Challenge. I think Lord Top Hat had the edge there. Here comes Top Hat, trying to pressurise Brum into a mistake. Brum might be thinking at the moment, I don't need any pressure to make a mistake. Out of turn 4 anyway. Into the slow turn 6, 7. No, that was the turns 3, 4 chicane. That's the Vettel chicane. Now we're heading into the turn 6 and 7, left and then right. Tyres still in very, very good condition. So certainly not thinking about a pit stop just yet. I think we need a petition for Lord Top Hat to make his helmet look as much like a top hat as possible. Is that possible? Do you think we can get there? I don't know if it's achievable, but I'm going to lay down a challenge. Either that or have the Monopoly character strolling on. And his helmet, perhaps. Hervas, well, certainly not taking it easy. Trying to break any kind of hope that the drivers following him might have for catching him. But that last lap for Hervas, a 39.9. Last lap for Niki Lauda, a 40.5. And Niki Lauda has finally gotten past Cool Breeze here. How was that done? Was it into the hairpin? I think it might have been. Here comes Niki out of turn 9, round through the Kubica corner. Going to be an outside maneuver. Oh, he's going to switch this back. Well, just as he goes super wide, he can see Cool Breeze going long on the brakes. So no surprises there, as Niki is very, very close to that wall again, trying to go off in pursuit of Hervas. Niki Lauda making the overtake, nice and clean. Another 39.9 then from Hervas, 40.5 for Niki with the overtake. 39.007 is Cool Breeze's fastest lap so far. That's the fastest of anybody. Looks like the fuel might even run out today before the soft tyres give up. It's not every day you can say that, and certainly now Cool Breeze, it's showing how much pressure he has had to absorb with his tyre wear, and the fact that they were starting to let go slightly on him there on the way through. Lap 11 of the 27. Hervas leads Niki Lauda by a decreasing margin at this stage to Cool Breeze. Big gap to Brum in P4, who's had half a spin, and Taffy Dog in 5th, who has not. Lord Top Hat, certainly not on camera anyway, Lord Top Hat is in P6. We've got Tango on brand new soft tyres, hoping to go 2/3 of the race on the soft tyre, I believe. Just use the medium for the absolute bare minimum period that he can get away with. And then Tarmac Terror at the back. Not often you see Redline Syndicate Racing in the bottom 2 positions on a race. So it is speaks to, I think, the level of competition this season at the Tardis Cup. That Tango has gone from almost assumed win every race to now in the midfield, certainly at this stage at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's Dios or Hervas ahead of Niki Lauda and Cool Breeze as they start lap 12, and it's Brum here in P4. No pit stop coming yet, just Tango, who has made a scheduled pit stop. Yes, indeed. On board with Lord Top Hat then. Looks like the closest driver to another on the grid at the moment anyway. Turn 2 just seems to take forever to get around in a large GT3 car anyway. Watch for the different lines coming through into this next chicane. Certainly, I'm not sure that was deliberate from Lord Top Hat. Didn't quite get the steering performance that he was expecting into turn 6. Now we have a short shoot down towards turn 8. You're always looking to the right, but it's easy to clip the wall on the left, which suddenly juts out underneath the bridge, often in the shadow as well. That was better from Lord Top Hat on the exit of turn 9, down the hill and in towards Ipingle or hairpin, with 360 degrees of spectator support. Hervas finally goes into the pits then. That's early from my expectation. Hervas in at the end of lap 12. He then gives up the lead naturally to Niki Lauda and to Cool Breeze. Here they are heading down into turn 1. Hervas gets released from his pit crew. Small amount of fuel put on, and it'd be a question whether he gets out of the pits in front of or behind of Brum. You can see as the two sort of main tracks diverge, Hervas is well ahead going into turn 2 then of Brum. Taffy Dog and Lord Top Hat come into the pits. Tango was racing likely with those drivers, so they will be his reference point as to whether this early switch to the softs has been beneficial in track position. It will not benefit him at the end of the race if he's going to continue to one-stop this. Here is Tarmac Terror, the Macedonian flag on the car in several positions there. Niki Lauda leads, but has not pitted on lap 13 of the 27. 39.6, 39.2 his last 2 laps, but a 39.1 from Coolbreeze on the most recent lap. He still holds the fastest lap, Coolbreeze. The car's still relatively heavy with fuel. Riding on the very nose then of Coolbreeze's Ferrari 296 GT3. Coolbreeze with the South African flag as well as the Australian flag on his rear wing. At least it's not New Zealand flag, right? Coolbreeze just following Niki here, waiting for the best option for their tyres. I would imagine they will continue to run the softs until they absolutely have to get off them. And we have Brum with Hervas catching him. Hervas on brand new softs, but Hervas has made contact with something somewhere. Here it is. It's the Wall of Champions. Crunch from Hervas. Wow. That was a pretty heavy hit from Hervas into the wall, so that's caused a lot of the damage. He's made it back past Brum again, though. Let's see. Hervas doesn't tend to bother waiting for conventional overtaking spots. Has nothing to do with Hervas, that one. I'm sorry to say, Brum. Please tell me it wasn't out of this corner again. A big snake out of the turn 2. But it wasn't until we get in towards the Vettel chicane here that we're just not getting the braking performance out of the car. Unfortunately, Brum still on those mediums, still haven't really come up to any kind of decent temperature out there. We've got Brum then in 4th, Hervas in 3rd, the furthest forward driver who has pitted, Coolbreeze, and here is Niki Lauda leading. We are in the middle point of our race as Niki hops over those curbs as usual. And by the start-finish straight, you almost want to go straight on down there. I'm sure there are configurations of racing that do allow you to do that. I wonder if that would open up a bigger overtaking opportunity than the left-right of turns 1 and 2 at the moment. If you were able to use the pit lane exit just to the left here, head straight down to turn 2. Anyway, that's one for the track creators and editors, I suppose. We've got Niki in 1st, Coolbreeze in 2nd, and Hervas in 3rd position, well within the pit stop window of the cars in front. What news of Tango? Well, he did manage to undercut Lord Top Hat and Taffy Dogs by a significant margin, who were having their own battle earlier, while Tango could go as fast as possible. The fastest he has been is a 39.381 on brand new soft tyres, albeit with heavy fuel. So as the fuel burns off, the soft tyres get worse, so it tends to nullify the advantage of losing the weight. Lord Top Hat in 6th and Taffy Dog in 7th place. Tarmac Terror in 8th place. As we just track then on the start of the long Casino Straight, Niki Lauda and his gap to Coolbreeze behind. Healthy lead for Niki. The clouds are gathering overhead. Unfortunately, we cannot have rain today at this particular racetrack. Here comes Coolbreeze coming through that chicane once again. Hervas is busy trying to extract the absolute maximum here while he's got a clear air in front, no real threat behind now that he's gone by and cleared Brumm. And the damage, he'll be grateful, has been cleared as well. That is the new fastest lap. A massive fastest lap from Hervas, a 1:37.817. 1.1 seconds faster than anybody else had managed so far. And that was Cool Breeze early in the race on new tyres, on new softs. These are third flying lap. I would say no, second flying lap on the soft tyres, and Hervas absolutely monstering and still going faster through sector 1 of the 16th racing lap. Absolutely brilliant from Hervas here, passing that coastal location in Montreal, Quebec. One of my real bucket list trips to make would be this track and this country for the first time as well. Again, holding on to the advantage he had achieved at the start of the lap, the middle of the lap. A lot of twisting and turning going on. Not a lot of acceleration zones. Middle of the lap here. So let's see. A couple of really fast top speed sections, of course, in sectors 3 and sector 1. So can we get a new fastest lap once again? Then Cool Breeze pits on lap 16, end of lap 16. It's a little bit too much curb on the start of the chicane, possibly from Hervas, but Car rode the jump very nicely. New fastest lap again, this time a 37.0 from Hervas. I'm pretty sure on race radio, who do we going? Ooh, 37.0. Wow, just to depress everybody. Niki Lauda, personal best lap still, with the softs, the front left and the rear left looking at about 50% wear, but Niki's still going faster than he has gone so far this race. Probably winding up for a pit stop. I think Tarmac Terror just had an issue going through the preceding chicane here as Niki comes up to possible lapping situation for Tarmac Terror. The personal best sector then from Niki. Is that him extracting everything that's left out of the tyres with 11 laps to go prior to a pit stop, or is that him trying to take the fastest lap away from Hervas, watching his deltas and lap count? Let's see. My suspicion is that this might be his in lap, knowing that Cool Breeze had recently pitted. Maybe reacting to that. No. Into the final chicane we go with Niki, so we can see the relative pace this time on lap 17. Niki on used softs is a 39.5. Hervas on brand new softs a 37.0. The previous lap on lap 17 a 37.6. Still has had the last 3 racing laps. He has been faster than anybody else consecutively. Absolutely incredible. Tango catching Cool Breeze here. Cool Breeze has, of course, made his pit stop. So that is the difference that early pit stop made with Tango. So it is telling me that the softs will just about stretch for Tango, as he'll be driving at lower fuel. That was Cool Breeze, just 2 wheels out on the grass. Tries to close the door here, but I fear that Tango had already gone through, and there we have it. So Cool Breeze a little bit late on his defense, a little bit wide on the approach, and Tango taking that position straight away. So up to P3 on merit, I believe now, Tango, having made his pit stop. Same deal with Cool Breeze, but he does need to try and extend his gap as much as possible at this stage of the race, so that if his tyres do fade off, he'll still have something to defend later on. I think that the win is out of question here for Tango. It looks to me like Pablo Diaz or Hervas has this one sewn up. Any more contact with that wall of champions may bring that into into doubt somewhat. Down off the jacks goes Niki Lauda. This will be a brand new set of tyres. Mediums, I hope, otherwise he hasn't fulfilled the requirements. Here he goes out onto the racetrack. We then finally get his updated tyre selection. It is medium tyres for Niki, and you just saw a red flash go by. That was Hervas heading in towards turn 3 and 4. Niki Lauda not far away from Hervas, and with a small tyre offset now on the medium tyres to Hervas's softs. Here are Tango and Cool Breeze coming through that iconic turn 1 and 2 section. Just listening to the fantastic Ferrari engines. In we go to turn 6 and 7 here. Try not to get too distracted by the scenery. And slightly distracted possibly, but more likely just traction oversteer from Cool Breeze. Saved it. Very nicely done from Cool Breeze. Lap 19 of the 27. Currently it's Hervas, Niki Lauda, Tango. Is that how things will finish up in a few laps time, I wonder. Taffy Dog in 5th, Lord Top Hat in 6th. Brum down in 7th position. No damage, but that was after a recent pit stop for Brum. I'm not quite sure if I can explain why Brum is so far down at this stage. But everybody now, I believe, has pitted. Here is Lord Top Hat chasing Taffy Dog through the hairpin. Down that long casino straight we go. Waiting seems a long time to upshift to 5th, much longer than I thought was needed, but I haven't driven these cars for quite a while now. Should be part of this championship, but the last couple race weekends have been problematic. Lord Top Hat across the line, finishes lap 20. 40.001 is still a very respectable lap time. This stage of proceedings on relatively new, relatively cool medium tyres. Brum, his last lap of 40.2. So that pace difference, and with putting 2 wheels out on the grass for a large proportion of the exit of turn 2, that doesn't look like a promising situation to try and overtake. Brum is struggling on these new mediums, no doubt at all. Either that, or there's a significant amount of lag coming from the car. I don't think Brum tends to experience a lot of lag with his connection. And you've got Tarmac Terror flying over that first curb in P8. Behind of him comes Hervas, looking to put a lap on. 38.0s the last 2 laps from Hervas. This one a 37.8. Wow. Okay. We are absolutely on it still on used soft tyres. Niki, I don't think has much hope of catching Hervas under normal pace situation. That was a 39.1 from Niki Lauda on new medium tyres. Bit of a slide this time again. Very normal though out of most of the chicanes here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's all about direction change, getting the throttle on as early as you can, and managing, coping with a little bit of throttle oversteer here. Hervas leads by what is an increasing gap of around 4 seconds to Niki Lauda. There it is, you can see him. I might be a little bit over the top there. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. I think seconds there back to Niki Lauda. No, that was actually Tango. So Niki's quite a bit further back, unfortunately. Tango in 3rd and Cool Breeze in 4th position. So we've got a bigger battle going on here for P3 and for P5 as well. Let's check out how close these two are in P5 and 6. Taffy Dog and Lord Top Hat. about the same, I think, as Coolbreeze and Tango. Let's get you a fun camera angle here for Tango. Looking back down Tango's rear wing. Slightly hesitant, it sounded like, into the chicane. Certainly Coolbreeze getting a better exit. Looked like a possible dive bomb coming, but no. Coolbreeze not going to show his hand too early here. He knows he's still got 5.5 laps worth of running to go. 5.5 laps to grab a podium off Tango. Into turn 6 and 7. Really need some names for these corners at Montreal here. Definitely named the Kubica corner myself, in case you were wondering. But yeah, we probably need to be looking at some good corner names, some good Canadian corner names, or yes, I think Poutine needs to feature, or maybe the Groundhogs. There is a Groundhog, I believe, on the exit of turn 2, well, the inside edge of turn 2 on the infield here on GT7. We got Taffy Dog in 5th, and there is Lord Top Hat continuing his pursuit. Quite sure how Lord Top Hat will be feeling about the prospect of a P5. I don't know if it means he adds more stickers or takes stickers away for those. He needs to still give me the Willy Wonka style Webbo comms sticker set, unless it's a font set that I'm not picking up. But I can't find it still. Lord Top Hat in P6 and hot on the heels here. You just see the Webflick sticker on the arches over the wheels. Check of the mirrors. Still only 1/10 of a second away from his absolute best, or I think that might be from the previous lap, maybe. Very consistent lap times from Lord Top Hat on these medium tyres, only varying by something like 1.5 of a second over the last 5 laps. It's amazing, especially when following somebody else. Setting sun behind the trees and the catch fencing, just lighting up the sides of our cars here, getting towards golden hour. But I don't think we will see sunset. The shadows are definitely lengthening across the racetrack. Not quite so bad as running in a tunnel to a bright light, but still almost a epileptic trigger. Wow, Brum once again, so close to that wall. And into the hairpin we go. Crowd absolutely captivated by this one. Hervas, 3.5 laps from another fabulous win. Here is Nicky. Quite a distance away here. We'll need Hervas to perhaps push too hard and end up in the wall once again. It's not bad if you've hit the wall of champions and can still win a race. I don't care how long the race is, it's still quite a strong going. Here is Nicky Lauda under the bridge into turns 8 and 9. Lots of room outside of the circuit there. Doesn't want to take any chances right now. Leads the championship. Second is way better than a crash. As Tango's in 3rd and Coolbreeze right with him as well. Coolbreeze really picking up the pace. Got his inside wheel there out of turn 9 chicane. The other side of the sort of basically the inside edge of the curb rather than the outside edge of the curbs. The car seemed to stay pretty planted through the corner. A little bit concerned he was going to spin out there, getting the tyres dirty, but that was a great line. Big repaired patch of asphalt into here, into the hairpin on the inside. So the drivers have to go from the old tarmac across the new tarmac and onto the old stuff again for traction. I mentioned that really because just watching the Monaco Grand Prix with the track breakup, I remember that was the issue that triggered the whole Pirelli tyre era in F1. Whoa, Lord Top Hat round. Little tag on the wall. Loses a position there to Taffy Dog. But yeah, in case you don't know, while we still had a tyre war going on, we had a Canadian Grand Prix where the asphalt was breaking up, and it meant that people were changing tyres far more frequently. And someone said, hey, this is fun, let's do this for the next 15 years. And thought that high deck tyres were the absolute way to go. Of course, the degradation that day was caused by a breaking up road surface. No surprise in Canada, the variance of temperatures between the coldest winter and the hottest summer day is something like the greatest on the planet, I believe. But personal best lap for Cool Breeze up to this point anyway, as we come towards the end of our race and coverage today. Cool Breeze P4, second for a large proportion of the first stint. Cool Breeze to Niki Lauda, with Niki Lauda I should say, sharing those positions. Hervas has just been peerless all day. Not bad for a part-timer. They have only got one good driver, the part-timer team, though. As heading down into turn one we go with Tango. I was going to make a "it takes two to tango" joke, but it really only just take one to tango with the Tardis Cup. Cool Breeze in P4, and Taffy Dog, having cleared and got by Lord Top Hat, has not been able to shake him off. Lord Top Hat is continuing his pursuit right now. Just remind Lord Top Hat that you can change the colour of the Webbo stickers. You don't have to use them stock all the time. But I still really haven't had an explanation other than pure silliness for this livery from Lord Top Hat. I appreciate the tribute. I must say, no one has ever put more Webbo stickers on the car. I might have to take a screenshot of this one just for my friend Comet Coper, who likes to put plenty of stickers on for me. Very kind of him. Puts them on his race suit and his sleeves as well, actually. Lap 26 of 27 for this group. It's about to be the final lap for Hervas. There it is. 38.3 his last lap on the softs here. Just a few litres of fuel left. The crowd are actually starting to applaud in my left ear there. Hervas might have been waving to them. So we continue then. I must just try and figure out, well, you can tell me, anime fans, who this character is on the front of Hervas's car. It's similar colour scheme to Sailor Moon, but I don't think that's what it is. So anyway, you could tell me in the comments. Shame me for my lack of anime knowledge. Niki Lauda in P2. Tango just ahead here of Cool Breeze still. Taffy Dog just ahead of Lord Top Hat. Amazing. Still these challenges right at the end of the race. I don't want to... oh, Tarmac Terror right over the curbs there. Now he's got a blue flag as well. Tarmac Terror. Let's go back to one of these two battles. You've got Lord Top Hat in 6th. Taffy Dog in 5th. And then further forward, Cool Breeze and Tango. Tango about to lap his teammate there. It's not a formation finish they're going for. But as they run through here, that's Tarmac Terror. The Project Racing logo on the front of his 296. Here comes Hervas then. He could probably afford to stop in the Wall of Champions before finishing and still win this race. lights up the rears coming through just to show off a little bit. He knows the camera's on him and he's putting on a show. Hervas wins in Canada, the Circuit Shield Villeneuve race. Niki Lauda continues a very strong Project Racing Tardis Cup for 2026 and finishes in second position. There was a question possibly over Tango versus Cool Breeze. Cool Breeze gave it everything going into that final chicane. Tango says, "It's mine today." The podium with Tango, Cool Breeze in fourth. And looks like Taffy Dog has done enough here to stay ahead of Lord Top Hat with Brum in seventh and Tarmac Terror in P8. And the rest of it is not under question as they come out. Those are your finishing positions. Congratulations to Hervas and Niki Lauda. Once again, Lord Top Hat knows a little bit about my broadcasts. And accidentally on purpose, little donut to celebrate P6 as Brum crosses the line in seventh. Hervas, Niki Lauda and Tango, your podium today. But tune in next time for the next round in the Project Racing Tardis Cup. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next race day.